This is additional instructions on how to complete the discussion board successfully. The discussion board is an important aspect of this course. In the assignments, you'll see that the discussion board is valued at 20 points, and each week I will set up multiple discussion board topics that I expect you to discuss and make, in most cases, at least 2 replies. So each week, I would hope that you, on Monday or Tuesday, I want you to make your original posting, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday reply to other students' postings or answer students' questions that it may have on your posting. Now, the value of the discussion board is 20 points or 20% of your grade. And you'll notice that when you go to I'll show you my grade book. And it's okay because everybody has the same grade right now. I gave everybody the full 20 points for the discussion board. As you can see here, everybody has the full 20 points. So I give you the points up front, and each discussion board is worth generally 1 point. So if you do not complete the discussion board, which means following the directions of each individual discussion board to completion with making sufficient posts, then I will email you at the end of the week explaining why I took points off out of your 20 points. And if you don't perform well in discussion boards, you'll see the 20 points slowly go down each week as I review the submissions you've made and give you feedback as to why your grade was changed. If you see a 20 at the end of the week after I've graded, that means that you're doing fine. There are no problems. So let's go right onto the discussion board. You click discussions here, and I have a general discussion board here called questions about the course, and you can use this discussion board if you have questions about the course or any issues that you feel are confusing. That way I can answer them here and everybody can benefit in what the answer is. If it's a type of question that you feel the entire class can benefit from or another student can help you answer, you could use this forum here. Okay, so week 1 we have, and you could tell, you look at the due dates up here. So this is due Friday, July 11th, again July 11th, and July 11th, and down this is July 18th. So this would be week 2. So for week 1 we have 3 discussion boards. So we have Article 1, Discussion Board 1, and Self-Assessment 1. So, but that doesn't mean every week there's going to be 3 discussion boards. It means that this week there are 3 discussion boards. Next week there may only be 2. And the week after there could be 1 or 3. So it really depends on the week. Now, the instructions under assignments are the general instructions. You should still read the instructions for each individual discussion boards. For example, I will in each discussion board explain what I want you to do entirely, and for this particular week 1 article, I want you to post pick an article from the internet, from a magazine, from any really source you want that's going to have an article related to organizational behavior. So the article doesn't have to be directly related to whatever chapter or topic we are picking that week, but I want the article to have some sort of connection to organizational behavior in some way. And it should be, the more timely the better. So something that's more current news, or even maybe a classic topic that's in organizational behavior that articles are written about all the time. Anything that's going to help expand our knowledge about organizational behavior will be great. Now, there's a particular format I want you to use when you create your original posts, using the title of the article, the source, the author, the date, and a brief summary of the article and why you picked it. Now, each student I expect to read the other students' articles and reply to 2 other students' articles, and each reply should be between 100 and 200 words. So if you click on the forum, you'll see that I have posted a sample article. So, and also a student here has also posted an article, and this is the correct format: the student name and then the title of the article. So if you click into the article, you'll see that I want, just like I said before, title, author, date, source, the summary of the article, an explanation of why you picked it, how it relates to organizational behavior, and And when you create the how the article relates to either the topic we're working on or the topic of organizational behavior, you kind of explain why you think this article is important or what you got out of this. There's a certain amount of freedom here. Now, so as a student, let me just go back. And here a student already made a post, and then you could see that they correctly followed the format I'm looking for. And after you read the post, there's a little ratings button that you can click on to rate give it your rating. And I'll just give this 5 stars, and then we'll get a summary. And now, if you have a question about the article, or maybe you know another article that's a good companion to this, you just click on reply here, and then you could type in, I'm just going to type in good job, because I don't really have much to say at this point. But sometimes I will pop in and I'll probably leave, I'm not going to even submit this, but I might leave a few comments, I might have a few questions about what you posted or your article, or might have something to add to it. And then you'll see when you open in this thread, you'll see now there's the first student, but soon after Monday and Tuesday, you'll see all the students will have posted their articles here. And to the best of your ability, this is sort of part of our class time environment. So you should be going in here when you can to read the posts, and you'll see that the way they're formatted, they're pretty quick to read. And then leave comments in this area. I'm hoping that at the minimum, you leave 2 comments for 2 other students. So your total minimum postings is your original postings plus 2 comments on 2 other students' postings of 100 to 200 words. Now, once you've made those 2 required postings, you could leave other postings that are shorter. So if you're working your 3rd, 4th, or 5th posting to other students, they could be simply a sentence, or it could be much shorter because you met your minimum already. But if you just want to voice in or support or some additional information, please do so. Because this is supposed to be our classroom environment, and we're supposed to interact with each other and keep the discussion alive and going all week long. Okay, so that's the first type of discussion question, is the article, and that pops up every so often. Now the other one, this is our main one. It's discussion question 1, and it's really discussion question week 1. And each week I'm going to put up a sort of more provocative type of question that could be more in-depth discussion. Now the thing about this, on this particular week, and this is why you have to read the instructions, I actually want, for the first week, I want 3 replies to this particular discussion question. So in some cases I may say 2 replies, but if usually on some of the discussion questions I think are a little bit more key to the topic of our course, I might request more replies to fellow students. So I want you to read on page 7 of the textbook. There's a research insight called "Women Might Make Better Leaders." So find that, read that first, and then I want you to kind of comment on, do you think this study is on track? In your experience, do women leaders lead differently than men? So you don't have to take a stance if they're better, if you think that's too controversial. But I guess if you have experiences that will lend to this topic, that will be great. So this is usually a pretty lively discussion. So if you click on discussion question 1, you'll see that I left, one student has already answered it, and I made a sample submission here, and it's anonymous, so that's how you know it's me. And I say I put in John Doe or Jane Doe, the anonymous ones, and I sort of put a response to the discussion question. Now this is not me, this is from a student. I just took what I thought was a decent response from last semester and I reposted it here, so you get an idea of what I would feel would be a really generous and a really good response, so that you get an idea of what I'm looking for. And I do this the first couple of discussion board questions. I'm going to try and post a sample so you get an idea of where we're coming from, and of course I'll rate this as a 5 since I posted it. Okay, so that's the discussion board question. Now there's also one that's called a self-assignment. So this is self-assessment for week 1. And the self-assessment for week 1, we're going to look at these are sort of to help get know yourself and your style of how you would fit it. There's various topics of assessing yourself, especially within organizational behavior questions and context. And in this first question, I want you to complete self-assessments 3, 4, and 5. And if you have the edition of the textbook for this class, that's going to be found in the back of the textbook. There's a section, and it's usually W33 and page number through page number W35. So the section in the back of the book starts with W, and it's page usually found between page 33 and 53. And I'll expect you to complete the assessment in the textbook and then draft a response slash discussion to the results. So you don't actually have to post your results, but I want to understand from your point of view, was this assessment useful to you? What did you feel about it? Do you think it was accurate? And kind of discuss, your general findings in completing this assessment. Now for this one, I'm only looking for, your initial post is going to be 200 to 300 words, but your replies can be a lot shorter, 75 up to 200. So you don't have to do a full 100 words for the reply. And for this, I'm only looking for 2 replies. 2 replies, not 3. So this one is 2 replies. And that would be the discussion questions for week 1. So if we go in here, we'll see that. Okay, so there's the good example here. There's no sample in this one. But to create a thread, if you're coming into a discussion, you're always going to have to create your own thread as a student. So when you come into any of the discussion boards, and see, this just means no one's posted anything yet. So you would just go create thread. And then you would title, you can put your, and you can create, the subject could be assessment, John Doe, and then I'm just going to 200-300 word. And I'm just going to put in the posting, that's my message. And then I'm going to hit submit. And now you'll see that I created the assessment post as an example. So this for each of the discussion boards, when you're ready to put your initial post, you would just want to hit this create thread. So for any of the discussion boards, say, article week 1, and you want to put, don't click on this, on my article, and then reply your original response to my article. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is when you're ready, click on create thread, put your title in, and then you'll create your own individual line here or thread on your original post where students can reply to it after you've made your original post. And this I also cover in the Getting Started video for the class. Now when you log in, they have a nice little indicator here. When you log in, you could see how many posts there are to each discussion board and how many you have yet to read. And I have looked at everything so far in the discussion boards, and it gives you an idea where you are. So it's good if you kind of make this a habit. When you first start your computer up in the beginning of the morning, just before you're going to start to do your work, come in here, click on the discussion boards and see what new posts have been posted. Maybe make a reply, maybe create your original post, and kind of start the day, Monday through Friday, spending anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes in this area each day to create this discussion board class environment. And that's what I'm really hoping for. Optimally, I would really like it if you come on board every day that you can and read and post. Now, I did post the bare minimums. That doesn't mean you can't do more than those minimum replies that I requested, and that would be great if you can. What I really don't like, and what people will lose points for, is if on Friday they make their original post and their replies at 11:30 on Friday night, because everything closes at, no, I'm sorry, not 11:30, at 11 p.m. on Friday night. They make their original post and 2 replies for the discussion board, virtually giving nobody a chance to read what you've written or look at your replies. So that's not a generous contributor. That's someone who's, and I will take points off if that's what you're doing. If you come in, on the last, night on Friday, or even Thursday, and start doing all your work on Thursday, that's not really being generous, and that's not really participating in the class discussion, so you will lose points for that. So make sure that at least by Monday or Tuesday you have your original post, and then I'm looking for replies on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So usually Wednesday and Thursday, you'll be able to make your original replies, and then Friday you could do any follow-up replies. And remember, if this was a class on campus, we would be in the classroom 2 days a week for for at least 3.5 hours. So this is supposed to replace some of that class time. Besides, also watching my video lectures does the class times as well. Okay, so I think I've thoroughly discussed my expectations of you in completing the discussion boards and what I'm looking for. And the bottom line here is I'm hoping that you'll do more than the bare minimum, that you'll be a little bit more generous with the discussion boards and get involved where you can. And for a lot of students, they find it quite fun to kind of pop in and see what people have written and what they've responded to them, and really kind of keep a virtual class discussion going throughout the week. And it makes the class, it helps really to reinforce what we're learning in the course, and utilizes everybody's real world experience together to make the class that more alive and that more connected to business and more useful to you. So, okay, I will be talking to you soon. Take care.